Zohran Mamdani. Do you see him as a possible prototype for Democrats going forward in elections?
Yes and no. That's my hot take. I would say, to begin with, I grew up in New York. I love New York. New York is not representative of America, and so I don't think that a New York City mayoral primary, regardless of who won it, is how Democrats should say this is the future, we'll just copy that. That would be silly. At the same time, if you look at what Mamdani did really well, that I don't care if you're a Democrat running in Mississippi, you should be doing, he was on people's phones. That's one of the most important things, right? A lot of voters are not getting their news anywhere but their phones.
Yep.
And the more you rely on your phone for your news in this last election, the more likely you were to vote for Trump because he was in your phone.
Yep.
Mamdani got in people's phones. That's really crucial. Something else I also think, which is just kind of obvious and yet we've overlooked as a party, charisma counts. Right? Somebody who is just fun to engage with, even if you're not in the room with him. Like Mamdani's subway takes, it was a fun video.
Yeah.
It drove home a point, but it was also something you want to watch. And like I worked for President Obama. He had that.
Yeah.
Somehow, I think it's partly because Democrats have become so data-driven, it's hard to quantify the kind of magic of a charismatic candidate, so we sometimes ignore it. But we have to forget to, about data sometimes and say, yeah, charisma really matters. Having somebody that just inspires people, might look different in Louisiana or Mississippi than in New York City, but we can't just, and one last thing I will say about this, the Democratic, whatever you want to, the institutionalists, the establishment, have got to stop to this, where we are just giving people candidates they don't want and saying, you have to vote for them, right? I mean, it happened in 2016 when Hillary wasn't popular. It happened in 2024. And even more so, where there are people in the New York business community who see Mamdani as a real threat and say our solution was to try to shove a disgraced sex pest down everyone's throats. And how come people don't see that we're the adults in the room? Well, I don't think it's that hard to figure that out.
But it's not just the Wall Street types, the Bill Ackmans. The Democratic Party establishment itself has spent years telling the left, vote blue no matter who, lesser of two evils. And now when a candidate comes through who they're not big fans of, they haven't all endorsed him. I haven't seen the Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, Kathy Hochul endorsements of the official Democratic mayoral candidate.
Yeah, I think
there's a hypocrisy here, is there not?
I think so. I mean, and let me say, I think vote blue no matter who was right. I mean, I think things have borne that out, right? Like when people said you should vote Trump because he's.
But it doesn't seem to apply when the left.
Yeah, and I think it should. I also think we need to be a big tent where I don't think that Chuck Schumer needs to say, I support every one of Mamdani's policies, or if he says something that I disagree with, I can't criticize that. You have to find a way to say, we're a big tent. A big tent is a little messy, so we have different types of Democrats in it.